Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking and subscribing the channel is free and easy, and it helps me out a lot. If you want to go a little farther with your support, I have Patreon and YouTube membership available, which includes access to the BoshNRoll Discord server, early access to things I'm working on, sideboard plans, cards I'm buying. You could have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use the YouTube membership option, you get sweet, unique YouTube badges and emotes for the channel. If you want to play what I'm playing, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support my channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com. And if you're playing on Magic Online, a cardhoarder.com loan account can let you play any deck anytime. If you want to wear your support, there is BoshNRoll merch available. All of these links are in the video description below. Thank you so much for watching. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I am not only playing Legacy, I am playing the deck in Legacy. This is Legacy's S tier. This is Izzet Ragavan. This is a deck requested by Patreon subscriber Sam, who had pointed out that the Delver decks were not really playing Delver anymore. And there's a bit of a gap between when this deck was requested and when I recorded it, and the technology advanced a little bit. At the time the deck was suggested, the deck had 0 of its namesake, Delver of Secrets. I think it seems that the general consensus has landed that 2 is the right number, but it is the worst threat left in the deck. We're on the full boat of 4 Ragavan, 4 Dragon's Rage Channeler, 4 Murktide Regent, and then just to keep the number of threats heavy enough, there's 2 Delvers here. Delver is now the 4th best threat you could play in Delver. That's a pretty big shift from Legacy's past, where people have talked about banning Delver to fix the format, and I think this is a sign that Delver's not the problem, but the Delver shell is the problem. And it can adapt to all sorts of cool threats, as long as the Wasteland, Daze, Force of Will, Brainstorm, Ponder infrastructure exists. But we're not here to talk about banning decks, we're here to play a deck. This is, as I said, the default best deck. I think this shell is genuinely kind of busted. We're not here to talk about bans specifically, but I think that over time we will eventually see some number of these cards banned. What we're trying to do here is resolve a cheap threat and ride it to victory. We can have multiple ways to attack for 3 for 1 mana. There's 6 1-mana 3-power flyers in the deck. There's 4 Ragavan, which on turn 1, backed by Wasteland and Daze, every time it connects, you ramp your mana, and sometimes you get to steal a spell. Once the dust settles, and there's a bunch of spells in the graveyard, Murktide Regent is a 2-mana threat that arrives somewhere between usually like 5/5 and 8/8 for 2 mana. That's pretty good. And the only resources it requires are the spells you want to cast anyway to get through the deck. Brainstorm, Ponder help you find threats if you need threats, help you find protection if you need protection, help you find burn if they're at a low life total when they stabilize. And of course, the other key engine to this current build of Delver is Expressive Iteration. This card is pretty much beyond messed up, and that's well established at this point. This didn't get enough attention off the Strixhaven spoilers. I think people were like, wow, this could be good, but nobody really knew how good it was. This is blue-red, look at your top 3 cards, put 1 in your hand, 1 on the bottom of your deck, and exile 1 of them. You can play it this turn. What really sets this card off is that you can play lands off of it. So if you just wait until after turn 2, this isn't really a turn 2 play a lot of the time, but if you wait until after turn 2, you can just choose a land out of those 3 cards, make your land drop after exiling it, and put a card in your hand for later. This is better than 2 mana draw 2. This is like anticipate and take 2 of the cards. It's very insanely powerful. A lot of thought experiments and various articles over the years have been exploring like what would 2 mana draw 2 in blue do to Legacy and Vintage. I think Stephen Menendian wrote an article like that probably in like 2011. It's pretty old. I've been reading Magic content for a long time. But basically it was like, what if Night's Whisper was blue? And we have a better thing than that available to us right now. And wow, is it good. Even control decks are warping around this. Like Anzi D, Anurag Das has been just shoving Expressive Iteration into Bant Miracles. It's now full 4 color. I'm even playing one right now in my current Bant list. Like, this card is just really insane. And it's even more insane if your opponent is already scrambling to deal with your explosive threat. The iteration triggers the channeler, the iteration puts another force in your hand to make sure they can't kill you, and yeah, this deck is just a hyper efficient killing machine. A really interesting thing happening in the mana base that was figured out a couple weeks ago in the Legacy Showcase is 2 Steam Vents. And this is not a budget choice because we already have 4 Volcanic Island. Basically, it was determined that having red mana on turn 1 is essential, and being able to daze is also essential. A lot of the lists have 1 basic island, 1 basic mountain in this Steam Vent slot, and it was like, you know what, we don't need that. What we need to do is cast Ragavan and protect it with daze. And if you draw the island, you can't cast Rag. If you draw the mountain, you can't pick it up with daze. So those are out. We're just playing the full 6 Volcanic Islands, and nobody's really playing Blood Moon. Back to Basics isn't really great against this deck because you already have daze. You can win with 1 mana. You have Pyroblast to clear it out. And Wasteland is also not great against this deck because they put so much pressure on you that you can't really spend a land to take away one of their lands. You need to be fighting back by accumulating resources of your own. So really brutal stuff, really cool innovation there. I haven't played with a shock land in Legacy on purpose before, and I'm pretty excited to try it. Oh, I lied. I played Death Shadow for a while. But this is a totally different reason to play Shocklands in Legacy, and I'm here for it. Let's try this out. This one should be pretty quick. This deck is brutal. Into the league we go. I'm on the draw in the first round, keeping this hand. I've got a turn 1 Ragavan, and it is off the Steam Vents, so it's important to note that if this was not the Steam Vents build, this would be a basic land, one way or the other. Oh, I'm playing against Bob Wong. This is probably a mirror. Mishra's Baubles in play. Oh, it's not a mirror. You got me good, Bob. Do I want to force Emery? I probably do. I'm going to pitch Murktide Regent to do it. I want to back up this Ragavan with multiple forces and really try to keep him from getting anything under him. Oh yeah, if he goes for a LED Echo here, he's just going to be hellbent against Ragavan. Not on my watch. That was a pretty good start. I just had a more fucked up one. Okay. Oh, he's not hellbent. He does have the Bauble card. He gets to Bauble me now and have 2 cards going into his turn, but he's facing down Ragavan. Shocking Steam Vents. Cast Ragarino. Gonna Bauble, and I'm gonna hit him now, because if I draw a Daze, he's drawing Thought Monitor. That's a 7-drop. Or is it an 8-drop? I forget. 7, yeah, okay. Expressive Iteration is my draw. There's Thought Monitor and 1 mystery card. There's not a lot of cards in this archetype that can mess with... Oh, I just missequenced. Oh, no, I didn't. I'll play that Psy. I did missequence, though. That's my inexperience with this archetype. I should have attacked with Rag, used the treasure to cast Expressive Iteration so I could save my land drop. Yep, my bad. That's just a play pattern that I'm sure every Delver player knows about, and I just messed up, but that was a housing. Okay, time to bring in 3 Pyroblast to a Braid against this artifact combo deck. Force of Negation's also coming in. I probably want Narset, though we'll see what is coming out before we see what's coming in. Gutshot is definitely, like, this card is a sign that this Delver deck's probably too good, because if you're main decking Gutshot, and a lot of decks are main decking Pyroblast right now too, that if you can target the format that hard with goofball cards like that, like Gutshot specifically, it probably means the deck's too good, but we'll figure that out over time. All right, Unholy Heat I do want. I guess or Pyroblast kills Emery and Urza and stuff better than... Lightning Bolt's exactly the same, but Pyroblast does more. A Braid also does just as much with Lightning Bolt. Unholy Heat I really like, because that can hit like Karn or something really big. Daze on the draw in this matchup is a little rough. and I might not need all 3 Murktide Regents. I'm cutting 2 blue cards, bringing in 2 blue cards, keeping my blue count up for the Force of Wills. I don't think I want Blazing Volley. We did see Psy. I don't think I want Surgical Extraction, even though I know they're an Echo deck. I just don't think that's the axis we're going to win this game on. Yeah, this looks presentable to me. Do I want Brazen Borrower? I guess is the last question. I could cut another Murktide Regent for a Brazen Borrower. Sometimes these Urza decks have Chalice in them, and sometimes they don't. But I think I do want Brazen Borrower just in case. Really don't want to get cheesed out by a Chalice. And Borrower is still a threat when I need a threat. My hand has no lands and no threats in it. I would consider a hand with one or the other, but not having either is rough. Come on, deck. Okay, I'm going to keep this one, and I am in trouble, though. I don't need 2 rags. Being a legend is kind of harsh on it. And I'll bottom one of the fetch lands, keep one of the natural lands. Wobbles in play. Petal. This is a hand I have that will lose instantly to Chalice of the Void, by the way. Urza's Saga, okay. Emery milled a Urza's Bauble, so that's a source of drawing cards, and then Lotus Petal can jump the mana curve. Emery essentially is Birds of Paradise or tap draw a card at this point. Yeah, not drawing an answer to Emery kind of sucks. I think I need to get a threat into play first. And I think that Delver is better than Ragavan to start this off, because he has multiple blockers between Urza Saga and Emery. I don't think we're winning this one, though. That Multi 5 was really brutal. So we'll need Ancient Tomb or land plus Lotus Petal to get a construct out of this Saga. He's not able to produce a blocker this turn. Oh, okay. We're just drawing a card? Wow. I'm not going to reveal Scalding Tarn. It's fine. I am going to cast Brainstorm. Found Pyroblast, Force of Negation. That's good stuff. Put back these 2 lands. And then attack for 1. I should probably fetch before the Saga pops. Though, maybe I just want to kill Emery now. Now that I have Force to attack the Echo, I'm a little more interested in just killing Emery. Oh, I needed to do it on my turn. Shit. Yeah, he can target a thing now and cast it. That was my bad. Force of Will to protect the Emery. That's fine. I'm not going to fight over that. I'm much more worried about Echo of Eons, because I think I'm somehow ahead right now. And if this Saga searches up Lion's Eye Diamond, and then he uses LED to put an Echo in the graveyard, that's a game that I'm going to win. Because I'll end up with Delver plus Ragavan to his Emery and no lands. Brainstorm's such a good card. Remember when my hand was bad, like 1 second ago? Just Multi 5, pretty awkward, no interaction of any kind. And now I just baited a Force of Will with a Pyroblast, and I have Force of Negation back up for the best play that is available. Ooh, did end up getting Pithing Needle. Good thing I fetched. Naming Wasteland. Yeah, that's probably smart. Clearly hurting for lands over there. Mox Opal's real good. Emery can get the 3rd artifact from the graveyard to turn it on. Emery targeting Bauble. Just drawing lots of cards over there. I don't think I should be using my Brainstorm to aggressively flip Delver. I think that it's better as a blue card. Like, there are too many things that matter in this matchup. Alright, I'm going to let him have that. Eventually, he'll be able to... Like, I can dash the Ragavan on turns where he doesn't have 2 mana available, and I can just attack with Delver on turns where he does, and we can just dance around this explosives for a while. Alright, Delver, what do you got for me? Scalding Tarn, again? Is that a Moto bug? I can Brainstorm and then also dash Ragavan here. I think I do want to do that. Brainstorm. Unholy Heat's a banger. Is removing Emery more or less important than connecting with Ragavan? Oh, I can do both. Yeah, dash Ragavan and then, yeah, okay. Right. This card's busted, I remember now. Am I able to... I don't think I can do both and still have Force up for the turn. So I want to put back Scalding Tarn, Force of Negation, or Scalding Tarn, Ponder. The difference is, do I want to leave my guard down for a turn off of Force, or do I want to clear Emery? And I think clearing Emery should be my priority. So I'm going to put Scalding Tarn, Ponder back on top of the deck. And then I'm going to dash Ragavan. Get in there for 3. My treasure can cast Unholy Heat. 3 damage, Ragavan triggers. A Mox Opal. Don't mind if I do. That could be on eventually. But I'm gonna cook Emery first. And then Ragavan's back in my hand. If he ever does pop this Engineered Explosives, he's gonna lose Metalcraft basically forever. It'll take out 2 of his 3 artifacts. Had the backup Emery. There's Thought Monitor in the graveyard now. That can be pretty scary. Still doesn't have mana to activate this Explosives though. And I'm gonna flip Delver this turn, revealing Ponder. I get to cast Ponder. Yes, reveal, draw. Let's see if we can remove this Emery also. This is actually really bad. Wasteland is the card that's named, and he doesn't have any lands to target anyway. Let's shuffle that up. I can just attack with Delver and hold up 3 mana. I think that's the play right now. Maybe I wanted to offer the trade with Ragavan, but I have so much removal for Emery in my deck. And this, like, if I dash Ragavan, he blocks, pops Engineered Explosives, then I'm on nothing. Is it better to put him on nothing? And I don't know, like, who's better at playing from nothing? And I think it's the deck with Echo of Eons in it. I don't know. I can see a world where it was right to attack with that, but if I dash it, I also can't leave up Force of Negation, which I can hardcast right now. Bauble. Thought Monitor, yikes. Okay. This is the phase of the game where we start getting crushed. Oh, you have another one? A Thoughtcast. I don't think I can afford to force that. Yeah, now the door's going to close pretty quick. 12 is a lot of life over there. What I need is an answer to Thought Monitor so I can punch through for a turn. Yeah, the land number 5 is not what I wanted. Now I'm going to have to dash Ragavan. It doesn't matter though. I think I've lost. Just trying to think if I can get through this. Because next turn he can start casting Thought Monitor from the graveyard with Emery. Like if I attack with Ragavan and he blocks, it's not even a trade-off. And I boarded out my bolts because the other things are better at managing the board, but that's all my reach. So I think, yeah, we're just dead here. I'm going to concede this one. I've seen enough. Mull to 5 caught up with me eventually. Having just 2 more cards here might have been a difference maker. We wouldn't necessarily have these 2 cards, but you can see how different those games look. On the play now, Daze is a lot more interesting. This deck seems really Emery-centric, though that might have just been the draw that he had. Do I want Lightning Bolt? Do I want my creatures to have to do all the work? Like, is there a world where, like, get them to 6 and then start flinging bolts is the right line? Do I want all 4 days in now that I'm on the play? I think that I'm where I want to be here. Mishra's Bauble for days is the one last decision to make. Mishra's Bauble is good at knowing what I need to play around. It helps out with that. And Dazed is obviously really good, especially on the play against this mana-hungry deck. Yeah, I think I am going to cut a Bauble for a Daze and just maximum stack-based interaction going into... I have all my low drop threats, some more efficient threats. I have some 3 drops over the 7 drops in Narset and Brazen Borrower. All my Dazes. Let's just keep like a Ragavan Daze hand. There's Ragavan, no Daze, but I am going to keep this. And this is not a hand that I lead on Ragavan. I think I'm going to Dragon's Rage Channeler, Mishra's Bauble, get the Surveil, try to get that damage up. Finding the second land in time to dash Ragavan is going to be pretty big, because I have Expressive Iteration and Force of Negation to help stay alive that long. Or Force of Negation to get me to survive the first couple turns, and then Expressive Iteration to reload. As long as I'm pushing damage along the way, we're in good shape. Scalding Tarn for Dragon's Rage Channeler, aka Darcy. There she is. The one of Bauble. Perfect timing. Ragavan into the graveyard. Bauble's in play. Bauble you. Already 3 types of cards in the graveyard. Revealed Lion's Eye Diamond. Good to know. Urza Saga, you got it. Kind of a slow start. I'd really like to dash Ragavan here. Alright, that's not going to happen. Brainstorm does get me 4 card types in the graveyard. Just instant delirium. I don't think I want another channeler. I'm trying to hit my land drop here. Obviously failed at that. And then put back a Braid and is it Iteration? Yeah, I think it's a Braid and Iteration. So a Braid being removal. Like, which of these do I want to shuffle away? Because I'm probably going to Ponder next turn. Or which one do I want to mill, I guess is the important question. And it might be Delver. So I put back Delver and a Braid. I guess I should have considered, what if I cast 2 counterspells this turn and Surveil twice? That was not something that I was considering when I put cards back that I should have been. But I think I will just mill anything. The difference between land drop and no land drop there is just completely unfortunate. I looked at 7 cards without a second land. The fact that I looked at 7 cards on turn 2 is insane. But not having a land is pretty brutal along the way. I'm going to Ponder here. Surveil the Delver into the graveyard. That's how we line this up. Okay. This I'm pretty interested in. I could Wasteland the Ancient Tomb. I'm drawing Volcanic Island on the following turn. Don't shuffle this library. Let's do this. Waste your tomb. Making a construct for the effort. That's fine. In for 3 more. They don't get the second construct. They can tutor something. I still have 2 pieces of interaction available. Mox Opal, sure. Not a great replacement for Ancient Tomb. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Let's just hope that Wasteland turns out to be the right call versus leaving a Pyroblast. Lotus Petal Backup Saga. Pretty strong. I'm still currently winning the race, but that could change. So the Abrade will go a long way to help that out. Psy Master Thopterus, that sucks. Do I daze this? That would take some artifact material out of play. Make the race a little worse. That Lion's Eye Diamond is going to make a thought. Yeah, I don't think that matters. Shit, wish I had a Force of Will here. Maybe wish I left a Pyroblast, though. It's hard to live in the past on that one. Is Daze going to get better? Yeah, I think Daze still has some life in it. There's the diamond. Yep. Let's see how far this Psy's going to go right now. I guess that's going to be the difference. Construct's up to a 5/5. I'm not winning this race currently. Volcanic Island, and then Dragon's Rage Channeler has to fight. Not blocking, that is unfortunately the right call. How much damage am I taking if I do various things? So if I Pyroblast Psy and then cast Ragavan, that's still 6 damage. Make another Thopter, that's 7, or another construct, that's 7. I think I'm going to Pyroblast Psy right now. Handle that. Do I want 2 Abrades? I'm not really going to have time to cast the first one, so I think this game's going to end a lot faster than that. And Ragavan. Ragavan's not super important to be in play, but I'm not doing anything else with the mana. Like, he's going to have some creature that can interact favorably with Ragavan. I guess he actually needs a land drop to make the other construct, or else it'll cost him Lotus Petal to do it, which is a pretty significant cost. Like, you'd be spending one artifact to get a different artifact. Like, the attacking construct would be the same size. Caracas. Okay, yeah, that's a card that exists. Make a construct, 7 damage, confirmed. Oh god, is this the Thought Monitor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is Thought Monitor. Okay, do you want to spend your Lion's Eye Diamond to have this? I'll put you to that test. Holding Tarn in the graveyard, that's not helping right now. Okay. Has determined that discarding the cards in hand to get 2 different cards is worth it, and that's probably the right call. If this finds another Thoughtcast or Thought Monitor, just crushed. Okay, it didn't. Did have Echo, though. Time to do some math. Is Ragavan going to be any better than absorbing 5 damage right now? If I take 5, I go to 9. If I Abrade Construct and attack with both my creatures next turn, he can take 5, or he can trade Thought Monitor for Ragavan. If I go to 9, let's see. This will be 5, 6, 7, 8 next turn. I'm dead to any artifact. But if I block here, the Dragon's Rage Channeler isn't worth fighting over on its own. Oh wait, the Saga gets to tutor as well, so they actually do have lethal. 5 minus 1 for construct is 4, plus 1 for the new construct is 5, whatever they tutor for is 6, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, if he just doesn't block, he is lethal. If that's the case, if I block with Ragavan, I don't think... So I would go to 13 and then have 6, 7, 8, 9 attacking next turn. Assuming I abrade a construct at some point. And what's my path to win that game? I think this Force of Negation not being Force of Will is going to cost me this game. Like, if I could have forced Psy, then this game's totally different, but obviously that's not where we are, so it's not helpful. But navigating this situation right now is pretty tough. And next turn, he'll also have just Caracas open to bounce Ragavan. I think Ragavan has to block. I don't like that, but I think it's necessary. This is where I find out I just miscounted all of it and it doesn't matter. I'm going to attack for my 3. Maybe I'm supposed to still have Bolt in this deck just to get through the Thought Monitors at the end, because this is 2 games in a row where I think I can put him to 6 or 3 really reasonably, but getting any farther than that is a non-starter because I don't have any reach left, and I'm not going to be able to race these constructs without Lightning Bolt. Definitely willing to believe I sideboarded wrong for this one. Alright, he's just taking his medicine, it seems. Alright, 6 life remains. I'm going to deal 3. Oh, not deal 3. I'm going to destroy target artifact on one of the constructs. I'm doing it now because we've seen Force of Will and I don't want to give him a draw step. What's going Tarn in my graveyard? Take one of those out. Not making a construct. Saving that mana. Alright, yeah, Shadow Spear is just way better. Yeah, I risked getting got by Shadow Spear by trying to play around Force of Will, which, yeah, I definitely can't win now. 7, 8, 9, 10. Though, no, both of my Abrades are in the graveyard. Yeah, if I, like, there might be a world where I could, nope. Yeah, I just messed that up. I played around the wrong thing. If I just let him get Shadow Spear, kill the creature that's holding it, that lets me buy a turn. Yeah, there's no way to deal 14 or to stabilize this board. I don't have a Meltdown in my sideboard, which is a card that is pretty common in these lists. This one that I pulled isn't playing it, though. And that's what could have helped there. GG's. Meltdown is 1 red and X sorcery. Destroy all artifacts that cost X or less. That's a pretty common card in Izzet sideboards, and yeah, this list I pulled just doesn't have it. We got beat by a deck where we would have needed that. This list has like the Blazing Volleys and Gut Shots. It's pretty teched out for the mirror, which I don't think is necessary in the league queues, but you probably do want a build like this for a PTQ where everyone's going to be playing the best deck. And that makes a lot of sense because I did pull this from a PTQ list. So slightly misbuilt for the wide open metagame, but that's okay. If we had a single meltdown to dig for, we can see how that game would have been pretty different. Just meltdown, killing all the constructs, the Shadow Spear, all of the mana sources, just wipe it out. That's just even having one, because we saw so many cards that game, they just didn't matter. I think that game also was a function. Two major things went wrong for me, where looking at my top 7 cards on turn 2, didn't find the second land. That was a problem. And my one of Force of Negation happened to be Force of Negation and not Force of Will, which I think would have won me that game if the side didn't show up, generate the extra artifact, generate the extra flying blocker, eat up my Pyroblast, like all of that. There was also the turn where I took Wasteland off of Ponder when I could have just got Volcanic Island and left up Pyroblast, and maybe that was too greedy, and I should have just been focusing on my own business and then worried about constricting his business after I was set up on my own. I'm definitely willing to believe that I made some mistakes there. Also, should Lightning Bolt be in the deck? Delver's really hard. This is some high-level Magic. It's easy to look at this deck and be like, oh yeah, just play your 3-power 1-drop and win the game, blah, blah, blah. But so many decisions are made. The Delver experts of the world are doing a lot of hard work that you might not even notice. Okay, next round. I'm on the play for the second round. I'm going to keep this turn 1 Ragavan. I get the luxury of, I get to bobble them to know what they're playing, and then bobble myself to decide if I like the top card of my deck. And then if I don't like it, I can fetch. If I do like it, I could just play Steam Vents and cast Ragavan. But the first one goes their way. They're on a mull to 6. Let's see if it's any good. Urza Saga revealed. Alright, really missing those meltdowns. The other bobble, target myself. Expressive Iteration on the top. Is that a card I want right away? I guess if I'm ragging, yeah, okay. I do want that card. Because if Ragavan connects, I can do the full value turn 2 off of the treasure. And if there's a Saga deck, there's a good chance they'll spend turn 1 just playing Saga. Though that would depend on how much fast mana they have. It's not necessarily always the right play. Flooded Strand for my troubles. Attack with Rag. Is he in there? He's in there. And we got a Murktide Regent. Okay, so we're playing against the Jeskai Rag deck. That's who has Murktide Regent and Urza Saga in their deck. I can cast this Iteration and hold my land drop, or I could just bet that I'll find a 1 and play around Daze. I think I would rather play around Daze. I'm not going to play around Stifle. If you have Stifle, you got me. Blue-red. Okay, so I'm going to put Ponder in my hand, Wooded Foothills on the bottom, and Dragon's Rage Channeler in exile. And then, you down with DRC? You know me. There it is. If this gets dazed, that's fine. It's half of a 2-for-1. That's also setting them back on a land drop. That's pretty devastating. Okay, deal. Really glad I made my land drop to play around Daze on the Expressive Iteration. And they couldn't answer Ragavan last turn. It seems pretty likely that we're going to get another crack in with it. I'm going to Ponder to start the turn. I really have way too many lands in my hand. I'm going to keep Daze. They clearly don't have a turn 1 play, and I want to make sure it stays that way. Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, I'll take that out of the mix for you. No problem. I'm going to play the Scalding Tarn, even though I don't plan on cracking it this turn. Because I do want that Ponder on top of my deck. And then based on the state of Ragavan, I can decide if I want the Delver under it or not. I need at least a threat pounding down. They finally committed their Saga to the board. Standstill, that's bold. I guess it's not that bold. They're showing me that they have a threat, multiple threats over time. Yeah, I'll daze that. Daze the standstill. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm normally playing Bant when I play against the Just Guy Rag deck, so it's like Standstill has a totally different role, but just committing to getting plunked by Ragavan once or twice to win the long game is a play pattern I'm really into. Speaking of being really into, I'm into casting Brainstorm with this handful of lands, including the extra land I just picked up with Daze last turn. Did you know that Daze is also card advantage? And Wasteland's gonna take out the Tundra. Without this Tundra, they're not gonna be able to make constructs before the thing dies anyway. Shuffle up, put Delver into play. And I'm also gonna cast Ponder right now with my treasure. Yep, this stone nuts. Okay, I'm gonna flip Delver. I probably should have put Daze in my hand instead of Force of Will, but either way, the effect is mostly the same, and I can Brainstorm into Daze if I want to, which I probably would. If they play a spell I have to counter right now, I think I will Brainstorm into Daze to fight it, because I lose the Brainstorm if I cast Force anyway. They did not shuffle the Ponder. I will reveal the Heartbreaking Daze. I've certainly been on the other side of this, where you're already losing, you're already behind, you've been wasted already, and Delver flips, revealing Daze. It's like, damn it. Ragavan connects. They did just cast Ponder, so they should know what they're giving me. Daze also. I believe a Brainstorm is in order at this point. 2 Volcanic Islands can go back into the deck, and I'll shuffle them away. Put Dragon's Rage Channeler and Delver into play. I don't think there's anything that can come out of the Urza Saga that can kill all of my creatures. It just here's all my dudes. Guess I didn't need the 4th dude, but might as well pile on. I don't think there's anything they can do about this. And they seem to agree. Just a couple of Wastelands backed by pressure. There it is. Pyroblast is good against Murktide Regent and Standstill. This is also a matchup where beating up on their cantrips isn't a bad idea. I'm not in love with Force of Will in the matchup. I do love Daze. Narset could be good here. I think this might be a Court of Cunning matchup also. They have Pyroblast, so the court isn't the best. They could also dash Ragavan. Yeah, maybe this is not a court matchup. Brazen Borrower can remove a construct, can also jump in as a flying threat in response to Standstill. Is that something I want? This deck has 4 plows for prismatic endings and is going to have Pyroblast after board, so I can't go too skinny on threats. Like, I do need to maintain a presence on the board at all times. I don't think I want Gutshot, even though they are a Ragavan deck, because they're only kind of a Ragavan deck. Like the mirror where you have Dragon's Rage Channelers, Delver, and Ragavan to deal with, or fighting Death and Taxes and all their hateful bears. I think that's more where you want the gut shots than this heavy control deck that just happens to play 4 Ragavan. I got 1 slot left. I can bring back one of my forces and just commit to being the beatdown. I can do Court, Narset, Brazen Borrower, or Murktide Regent. I could also just get a Braid in here. A Braid does kill Construct or anything that comes out of the... I really wish I had a Meltdown in this sideboard. Don't play this deck without Meltdown. People like Urza Saga. I think Brazen Borrower is the card that is proactive while also working against permanents that are difficult to beat. Maybe I just want to try all the 3-drops for Science. These are all going to be better on the play than they are on the draw. But I'm going to try them. 2 days is out. That might have been a sin. It's okay. Probably should have cut the baubles instead of the dazes. It's alright, we'll figure it out. I have played a lot of Delver in my life. Like, I have 1 Star City events with Delver. I top 8'd Eternal Weekend with Delver. But so there's a lot of basic things that I'm pretty solid in, but the specifics of this Izzet Delver deck in this metagame are pretty foreign to me. I have not. I think I played it once, like 3 or 4 months ago, when Ragavan first came out. I did it because everyone was doing it, but in general, I've been working on Bant when I'm serious, and I've been playing meme strats when I'm not serious. I'm actually going to keep this because their deck has no basic lands in it, and if I can keep, like, if they have turn 1 Rag, I'm just dead. But if they keep any sort of reactive hand that tries to win with Urza Saga, I can pick them apart. This hand might be terrible, don't get me wrong. Though there are 14 draws that can turn on this Unholy Heat right away. The deck plays 18 lands, 4 of them are Wasteland, the rest are all blue-red sources. Blue to Delta, uh-oh, they're fetching. Please cast Ponder, please cast Ponder, please cast Ponder. Shit. I deserve this. Alright, we're just gonna draw a land and Unholy Heat this thing. Told you. It didn't happen. Okay, this is not what I wanted to do. Like, playing around this specific 4 of when I have a 14 outer anyway, and obviously it looks like I've just thrown this game in the trash because this is happening, but I think there's a little more going on there. They have standstill. Cool. Alright, yeah, now I'm fucked. And they can even wasteland my wasteland. Could this have gone any worse? Here comes Rag again. I'll give it one more draw step to try to find an answer to Ragavan, and then we're out of here. Okay. So you're saying there's a chance. Except not really. And maybe I have to... I'm not sure what I have to do here. I don't really want to let them draw 3 right in the middle of their turn. I kind of want to save that for the end step. Okay, they have another Ragavan. Okay, it's time. Volcanic Island, Unholy Heat. Oh, I should have wasted their waste before I did this. Then I would have made sure to have mana going into my turn. That was bad. I had a free shot on their wasteland and didn't take it. These little decisions all add up. Delver is not easy to play. If anyone watching happens to be one of those, like, anti-net decker, easy deck, whatever people, if you have any thoughts like that in your head about Delver being too easy and it being too easy to have a great deck and just free wins, you're wrong. You're just wrong. Sorry. In this game already, where it feels like I've done very little, I made a questionable mulligan decision. I just missed wasting their wasteland for free and locking in my colored source for my own turn. Oh wow, they went to waste my waste instead. Okay. They had a clean shot on my volcanic island and didn't want it. Fascinating. I wonder what's going on with that. Maybe they're just lining up for make sure that their Urza Saga can stick next turn. Oh, okay. They were dazing my spell. Sure, that makes sense. You got it. That was a weird exchange that did not go nearly as poorly as I thought it probably would. I think I want to brainstorm. If it gets pyroblasted, that sucks. Okay. I'm gonna concede this game now. Yeah, I was looking for another land there. Just hit the other land, make sure to develop your board as well as you can. But yeah, obviously, I took a gamble on that one and it got completely destroyed. My dazes are coming back in. I'm on the play. Court and Narset, those are better on the play. Murktide Regent, I think, is a little unreliable in this Pyroblast matchup. I'll leave 2 of them in because it is still a powerful card. Lightning Bolt is good. Delver's good. Daze. Yeah, I'm going to shave up Bauble. This is how I'm going to play this game. I'm leaving in all the 3 drops because they're better on the play than they are on the draw, and I still want to try them in this matchup. A turn 1 Ragavan connecting can turn 2 these things also. Just pretty messed up. I'm on the play. I'm not going to fall for this again with my 1 Wasteland mulligan. Come on, Dak. You're killing me here. Mulligan. Alright. I'm gonna keep this 5. Put Narset away. Put one of the Pyroblasts away. Unfortunate. And we could still... We're not dead. Like, we got plenty to do here. But that does suck. My opponent's deck is loaded with answers to 1-drops, Prismatic Ending, Swords to Plowshares. They're all over there. There's Flooded Strand. They're fetching right away. White mana. And, yep, there's that. This is where I draw Daze. Oh, True Wasteland. That's not bad. Do I want to try to cheese them? Or do I want to play normal? I think I'm going to ponder first. Another Wasteland. Do I want to try to play that game? Because if I waste them now, and they waste me back, I'm not drawing a land for several turns. I don't think I want to play that game. I'm going to shuffle this. I do want to play this first Wasteland game, though. Just try to punish their turn 1 interaction. And if they waste me here, that's fine, because I have a land drop to follow up with, and that's not really my plan anyway. I can brainstorm now, or I could wait. Waiting leaves up Pyroblast, but they could Daze Pyroblast. My deck's full of 1-drops, so I'm going to brainstorm now. I'm not going to cast this Force of Will anyway. Okay, Force of Will, and I think Steam Vents can go back into the deck. Alright, that's reasonable. I have Wasteland for their next thing. If they dash Ragavan right now, they just get a shitty land off the top of my deck, and I don't care. Murktide Regent is lurking. Lurktide Regent. Mishra's Bauble from them. I think this is a bauble yourself situation. Use these fetch lands. Figure out if you want the card on top of your deck or not. The board is stable. They don't really need to be taking extreme action. Bobbling themselves. Yep, smart. I could also just draw the Steam Vents on top of my deck and cast Murktide Regent with Pyroblast backup, but that won't save me from their Pyroblasts. Oh god, am I getting stifled? Stifle is not usually in these lists anymore, but sometimes it's a one of. Wow, okay. Yep, got stifled. It's fine. I'm drawing a land anyway, and I know I'm drawing a land. It's already there. And since you gave me a target, waste you again. These decks usually have 3 Tundra, 3 Volk in them. Though I know I'm drawing Force of Will next turn, which I don't really want. Yeah, that was a really good stifle. I should have just waited till my upkeep and fetched, and then I could Pyroblast the stifle. I fetched in the end step like a modern player. I was like, I'll just get a Steam Vent, save 2 life, blah blah blah. But that wasn't really necessary. God, and now they have Soul Guide Lantern? It's like they know I'm holding Murktide Regent. Jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, now or never. They did already make it a 4/4 instead of a 5/5. They can Daze this. They can Pyroblast this. It's just a big idiot. Swords to Plowshares will get it. Interesting, they didn't care about countering it and just killed it instead. I guess it doesn't matter, but just give me that brief glimpse of hope that maybe I have a 4/4 in play. Playing this league is actually refreshing because I'm making a lot of really small mistakes that are crystallizing for me that I should not play this deck. I have a pretty big tournament coming up, the Legacy Pit Open, which will be long over by the time any of you see this video, but I'm probably going to play 4-color Bant in that tournament. But there's always the tease of playing this deck. Like, this is very obviously just the most objectively powerful thing in a vacuum that you could be doing. And I do generally have a rule that if you think a card should be banned, you should be playing it. And I think that something out of this deck will end up banned. However, I'm making all these little mistakes that are adding up in a way that I can't tolerate over a 8 or 9 round tournament. And it's just, I've convinced myself that this deck is not on the table. I'm just going to play Bant for that tournament, which is good. It's a relief. But now I can't play the second Murktide because I don't have the cards to delve. They're going to have the two things, probably getting Retrofitter Founder here as well to just infinite creatures. There's no Meltdown in the list. I actually can't win this game anymore. This isn't a tilt concession. I just literally can't win. It's already over. I can't remove these things. I don't have a threat. They're still at 17 with more cards in hand than me. We're done here. Next round. We're about halfway through the video, so let me just remind you that if you like this deck and you want to try it out, you can use the code BoshNRoll to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com, and you can play any deck anytime with cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. These links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. On the draw in the third round with an absolute banger. I'm going to keep this. Playing against a Polluted Delta deck of some variety. Dragon's Rage Channeler is the start here, because I get the DRC, immediately trigger it with Bobble. Gonna end up with some card types in the graveyard. Yeah, let's mill that Gut Shot, no thanks. And I'm gonna just Bobble them now. They can fetch and hide the information. Recruiter of the Guard. Okay, so we're playing against Esper humans, or Esper Vile, whatever you want to call it. Maybe Gut Shot was good. Hard to know until you're there, though. Recruiter of the Guard in their hand. Brainstorm, sure. Now I have the choice of second Dragon's Rage Channeler plus Ponder, or DRC Ragavan. And I think the DRC Ponder is the play, because that will get me Delirium. I have instant Artifact, and then I have Fetchland Sorcery. Like, I don't even need to surveil anything to make this happen. Cabal Therapy, yikes. Please name Brainstorm, please name Brainstorm. They name Expressive Iteration. Force of Will. Alright, nope. That card's not in my hand. Not yet, anyway. So I do have 2 iterations, which is pretty scary. If they play Recruiter next turn, and then flashback their thing, that hurts. I'm gonna get my DRC and play first, playing around Daze here, fetch, and Ponder. Extremely interested in finding Daze right now. I have 5 looks. Lightning Bolt, that card is good. But is it Daze? No. I specifically want to make sure that I don't get blown out with this Cabal Therapy. Ugh, I don't really want any of these. Just gonna shuffle. Okay. I mean, if they want to spend their board and 3 mana, taking 2 Expressive Iterations out of the hand, that's fine. I can just go Murktide, Ragavan next turn, and then the board is pretty brutal. I wonder if this is like a Lurin or something weird. The Cabal Therapy is not a card that's usually in Esper Vile. Oh, okay. It is something weird. Yep. My spider sense was accurate. It's some sort of Nickfit thing. Might even be a Lurin. And they name Force of Will. Yeah, so if they just get Forest, Jam a Lurin, Recruiter of the Guard here, then I'm SOL. Don't have any basics in my deck. Okay, well this mana doesn't cast a Lurin. I'll take that as a small win. It also doesn't cast Recruiter of the Guard. Let's see if I'm just getting Pernicious Deeded into the earth right now. Brainstorm. Yeah, they got my iterations. That was, what, like a 6 for 1? All things considered. So the Veteran Explorer got 2 lands. The iteration were... Then Cabal Therapy got 2 iterations. The iterations are worth 2 cards each. Yeah, that was like an 8 for 1. Messed up. And Uro is looming now. Whew. Here's this. Isn't it crazy how Daze would have just collapsed all of this? And that's why I was digging so hard. That's why I didn't accept any card other than a counterspell when I was pondering there. And still, we came up a little short. Wasteland. They just searched their deck for so many lands. So they do only have 1 white source in play. I'm going to dash Ragavan and see what happens. Oh, coming in for 8. It's not trivial. It is a lot of damage. Exiled Verdant Catacombs. That's not super helpful. I could waste this. Blue, green. I can't take them off blue, green. I can't take them off white. And Volcanic Island's not doing anything in my hand. Or not doing anything in play, so. Harsh. Let's see if we can cheese over the finish line. That's all I can do here. There's another Cabal Therapy in the graveyard, though. They can therapy my Rag, I guess, if they have some extra creature laying around. Misty Rainforest. I have to assume that can get white, if white is what they want to be doing. They have cast multiple Brainstorms since I saw this Recruiter. It might not even be in the hand anymore. If their hand is Land Recruiter, then Uro can play the land. They can cast the Recruiter, recruit for something, therapy my Ragavan, and then just be way ahead. Uro did not play a land. I'll take that. Ugh, I was really in the market for a Lightning Bolt there. Or Unholy Heat is even better. Attack for my 6 flying. I guess I just put Ragavan into play at this point. Normal. All natural. The good news is that Cabal Therapy in the graveyard's not going to get me. Haha. I do think this is an Aluren deck, by the way. Just between the Therapy checking for Force of Will on turn 1, the Recruiter, Uro is a combo Aluren piece. I have the spider sense that that's what's going on right now. I'm going to take 6. My only way to win this game is to just ram damage across the table. They didn't shuffle their Ponder, and they drew a card with Uro without shuffling again with their fetch land. So they have 2 cards that they like there. Alright, they named Force of Negation. Hey, it's Aluren. Look at that. The Spidey sense is never wrong. Alright, I'm F6 here. If they have the combo, they have the combo. Yeah, okay, so this can get whatever, the Cavern Harpy, the Arctic Merfolk, whatever it is that they're playing here. Alright, yep. Aluren confirmed. Did my best to shred into the deck for a counterspell on turn 2, and I think I played this game well. They just beat me. I'm not sure what else I could have done there that I didn't do, but I'm proud of that one, even though it didn't work. I think Submerge is solid. Surgical doesn't really matter, though fighting their Uros is of some interest to me. Don't want Gut Shot. How do I fight their creatures, their discard, and their combo at the same time? And I think the answer is just pound them. Right? I think I like Court of Cunning here. I think I like Narset on the play. Daze is like really good on turn 1 and 2, but pretty bad after that against this Nick Fit deck. I think I'm going to shave on Daze. I need the Force of Will. Do I want Force of Negation? I think I want that. This is kind of a tough one to navigate. I think I shave 1 Murktide Regent and 1 Mishra's Bauble. Maybe this is bad and doesn't make sense, but I'm in for it. Is Unholy Heat better or worse than Pyroblast? I think I'd rather have Pyroblast than Unholy Heat. They both kill Uro, but one of them can also counter Brainstorm or Cavern Harpy. Is Pyroblast better than all these Dazes? At some point, Daze is going to be important. I'll leave some of them in. Okay, here's this. I'm not sold on this plan at all. Like, I don't want to leave it. Like, if they were dedicated to Aluren, Gutshot might be playable. But even then, it doesn't pick off Cavern Harpy, which is the thing you really need to pick off. I think I can keep this one. I wish this Delver was Ragavan, that's for sure. Also important to note that last game, we were definitely punished for being the Steam Vents build. We've been rewarded already. Like, we had that other game where I had Ponder and Ragavan in hand with just Steam Vents. But that last game, if I could have ramped with the Veteran Explorer, that game would have been pretty different. They did not shuffle, but what they did do is leave a non-basic in play for me to chew up. Reveal Expressive Iteration. Kind of awkward to ever reveal anything against the deck with Cabal Therapy, but I have Brainstorm also. You don't often get to just waste Nick Fit out from their only mana source, so I'm going to take that where I can get it. They had Blue to Delta go. I think I want to Brainstorm. Yikes. Okay. I'm gonna hide the expressive iterations because they've already seen them, and I don't want to give them a freebie off of Cabal Therapy. Showing them the Wasteland kind of sucks. Maybe I just shouldn't have played a land at all. Let them fetch an on basic thinking I don't have a land drop. Because I actually just don't have a land drop. Though if I daze, I will have a land drop. Okay. No, I don't regret that. Okay. Yeah, dazing this Brainstorm in this spot is pretty exciting. Basic Swamp, you got it. Yeah, this might just be a Delver cheese. It's gonna have to be, basically. I still have a Force of Will. I wasted them. This Delver's gonna flip to the other expressive iteration. Then I don't have a play for an entire turn cycle. It's just attack for 6. Hold up Force of Will. Though I'll also be able to hold up Pyroblast next turn. So that's of interest to me. I think I'd have to counter the front half of an Uro. Going to 13 adds whole turns to the clock. That would be tough. I hope they don't do that. I don't want to think about it. If I have to force something, I'm pitching the expressive iteration. I can't cast it, and I have another one coming, and they've seen it already. Abrupt Decay, that's pretty good. Though I do have a Wasteland target now. I know what I'm drawing. Normally, you don't need to Wasteland in the end step. Just take your draw step, use the new information. But I've seen it, I know what it is, and I know that I'm going to waste. That was their only green source and their only white source. That feels pretty good. What feels bad, though, is now I'm at the point of the game where expressive iteration can start pulling me back into it if I draw a land, but I'm really exposed to Cabal Therapy right now. Jesus. Well, okay. Are they going to name Force of Will just in case? Nope, they're going to get the 2 expressive iterations. It sucks because they knew about one of them, and they knew like one was good enough to take, but there was a bonus one in there that they just get for free. Ouch. And now they know exactly what they have to beat. They're at 3, and I have Delver in play with Force of Will backup, and there are 4 bolts in my deck. So we got something going on here. Baleful Strix, I have to counter that. That is exactly the type of card that makes this game over. Let's draw Lightning Bolt and win the game right now. Come on, deck. Submerge is not bad. So I don't want to see Abrupt Decay. I have Force of Will for most things and Submerge for anything that sneaks through. Force Pitching Court. Yeah, I can't let them gain 3 life here. Dead on board, what you got? All right. Ooh, scrappy Delver stuff. That was just Delver's Wastelands and Counterspells. That felt like 2011 Magic. Not bad. What changes here? Maybe they are off of Aloran or thinner on Aloran, and they're just going to be an Uro deck against me. But I still don't think that means I want Surgical Extraction. Pyroblast was fine. On the draw days is even worse, but I don't think I want to change the number of them that I have. Maybe these 3 drops, the Narset and Court of Cunning, aren't that great on the draw. An important thing to consider with Court of Cunning also is that if I'm milling them, I'm eventually going to mill them to their Uro. I do have Pyroblast for that. Maybe I don't want Court. Maybe I want Brazen Borrower instead. That has some interactive properties, though they're not really important in this matchup. But more importantly, it is a flying attacker, which they're not particularly good at dealing with. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. Let's go. Alright, this is a keep. It doesn't have interaction I'm really looking for, but it also is doing the thing that last round was also doing, which is just has 2 of a good card to name in it. If they do just blind name Cabal blind Cabal Therapy, that's unfortunate. Leading on Delver, because that needs more time to get going than Ragavan. Like I can dash Ragavan at my leisure. End step Brainstorm. It's pretty aggro. Another Brainstorm. I can't help but feel like this could have been done more efficiently, but they are also a combo deck, so maybe seeing more cards quickly is more important than advantage over time. Alright, Wasteland's not what I want. I will play around choke a little bit by dashing Ragavan. I guess they're an island deck, so they're probably not going to be choking me. But hanging this Wasteland out here like this encourages them to fetch basics, and they're a 4-color deck. So while fetching basics does keep my Wasteland at bay, it also makes it kind of hard for them to develop in a way that lets them actually play the game. So I'm okay with that trade-off. Tropical Island is in play now. Okay, so they see Wasteland in play and they're still like, Tropical Island is my jam. Yeah, if they just Uro this turn to pull ahead of the Wasteland, that could be harsh. Eternal Witness. Okay, you got it. Rebuying a land. Alright, so they're just looking for land drops right now. Delver, what you got for me? Force of Negation. Yes, let's go. Do I want to Wasteland first? They just picked up another land. Yeah, I'm going to waste first. And I'm going to cast Iteration. I don't think they have Daze in their deck. I haven't seen that yet. Lightning Bolt, Force of Will. Alright, so Force of Will is going to my hand. Murktide Regent's going on the bottom. And Lightning Bolt goes into exile. Play my land for the turn. Attack for 3. And do I want to bolt the Witness to clear the way for Ragavan? Or do I want to bolt their face to get this game over quicker? And I think Witness is the play. This Ragavan will do more damage than Bolt over the next 2 turns. It'll do 4 over the next 2 turns, where Bolt will just do 3. Plus the Ragavan does other things. And I have force blue card right now to back up this Ragavan Delver beatdown strat. They could definitely have Abrupt Decay right now. I can... Yeah, I want to just dash Ragavan, I think. Red colorless. Leave up the Volcanic Island. If they kill one of these creatures, I'm pretty happy with either one of them connecting. Yeah, look. I'm smelling an Abrupt Decay here. Oh no. What are they doing for blue-green? Weird. Was that a misclick? What just happened? Or did they just not want me to have the card that's on top of their deck? I can't Murktide here. I can Iterate here. There's only 1 0-drop in my deck right now, though. I boarded out one of the baubles, and I don't want to do a low-value Iteration. Intuition in the end step. Fascinating. Do I counter this? Or do I let them have this? And they've seen Force of Negation. Like, they could just get Uro here, but then I could counter Uro. I'm gonna let this resolve. Do you just get 3 Uros? Do you get 3 Allurans? What's the play here? Like 2 Allurans and a Cabal Therapy? It's Uro and 2 Cabal Therapies. Choose a card that will go into their hand. I think I want them to have Uro. No, I want them to have Cabal Therapy, right? I haven't seen a black source yet. If they therapy me, then they aren't Uroing me. Though if they have, like, black mana... Alright, I'm gonna let them have Uro. And put the therapies in the graveyard. I can Force of Will a Veteran Explorer, which I suspect is probably the plan. Alright, not with that mana, it's not. If I Force of Will, what happens? I still don't have them dead on board. Yeah, I think I just have to let this Uro happen. Not far enough ahead to be doing other stuff yet. Ponder, I could Iterate. I could dash Ragavan. I could gem Murktide Regent. Ponder, Murktide. Though these Wastelands are pretty awkward. I'm going to dash Ragavan to start. They're holding up exactly Abrupt Decay right now. But putting more damage on the board is always agreeable to me. Okay, they're going after Delver, so they do think the damage matters more than the cards and mana. Let's hope they're wrong. I can cast their Ponder, or I can cast my Ponder. I'm going to cast their Ponder first. That puts cards in their graveyard versus cards in my graveyard, which I'm not the most excited about. I can put these on top. Don't shuffle the library. I can Expressive Iteration, blue, red. I still have my land drop. I'll put Lightning Bolt in my hand. But Ragavan on the bottom, exile Scalding Tarn, play Scalding Tarn, and I can still ponder or brainstorm, though I think I want to save that. Oh, I'm gonna have to discard to hand size. Yikes. Yeah, I can discard Wasteland to hand size, it's fine. That's not doing anything this game. And not finding Pyroblast anywhere was kind of rough. I really wanted to fight over this Uro. Alright, yeah, Daze isn't in my hand anyway. Like, I'm in hard counter mode both ways. I'm gonna have to Force of Will Uro if it comes up. There's Uro. I'm gonna Force of Will pitching Ponder. I really want the Murktide Regent. Okay, green black. They're gonna have a hard time getting this Uro on the stack again this turn. They know about Force of Negation. They didn't know about that Force of Will. I think I'm gonna fire off a Bolt in the end step. Just pushing for damage at this point. Bolt you. You're at 4. Do I want to dash the Rag? I think so. I'll put them to 2. Replace itself on mana. If I can brainstorm up a Lightning Bolt, I can just win right now. Endurance. Alright, that's not a card I can cast, unfortunately. I'm 1 green source short. I would love to tuck this Uro. Alright, brainstorm, looking for Lightning Bolt. Didn't get there. Put back the 2 brainstorms, because I'm going to Murktide right now. And I can have the backup Murktide and protect it with Force. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exiling max spells. This is big enough to punch through even Uro's life gain. They still know about this Force of Negation though, so if they can cast a creature, flashback Cabal Therapy, strip my Force of Negation, and then alluring me out, this is a way I lose this game. They did make green. That's scary. Fetching down to 1. Got shot. Didn't have it, unfortunately. Oh god, what is this? Recruiter of the Guard. That resolves, regrettably, which turns on the Cabal Therapies. Alright, you don't have another white source right now. If you have a Lauren, I lose. Like this is... Yeah, they know about Force of Negation, now the coast is clear. I'm about to get a Lauren out of this game. Fuck my life. Okay. Let's see. Do they have... Yeah, they just get Arctic Merfolk. Arctic Merfolk picks up Recruiter. Recruiter gets the Harpy. Harpy picks up Recruiter. Or Harpy can't pick up Recruiter. Recruiter picks up Merfolk. Merfolk picks up Recruiter. They have to recruit for a win condition now. Ugh. Yeah, Strix will do. Yeah, ended up a little short there. 1 Lightning Bolt short, 1 Counterspell short. Yeah, they played really well. Their deck seems pretty well suited to beat up what I'm doing. I feel like I could have found 1 more damage somewhere. Like, what if I Expressive Iteration instead of Murktide Regent last turn? Like, I just sit with the lethal Ragavan in my hand, but it's not lethal because they have Uro. Yeah, I think they just had me. I don't know. Yeah, that was tough. Tough stuff. We're 0-3 with the best deck in the format. What does that say for the way I'm playing it, or for the format's preparation for it? Honestly, I think that the Blazing Volley in this sideboard, if that was just Meltdown, those first 2 matchups are very different. Just trades this 1 card to something different. So I think this deck is misbuilt by at least 1 card for Moto League play, and it's a pretty significant one. I don't have any specific cards for Oloran, though, obviously. So that is what it is. GG's. That did come down to the final turn. I'm on the play in the 4th round with Ragavan Daze. I'm going to keep. Let's go for it. Battling for my Magic the Gathering life here. If I 0-5 this league with the best deck in the format, I might have to quit. Might have to hang up the towel. All joking aside about that, I hope that everyone is learning from my small mistakes. Like, I'm definitely not playing perfectly here, not even close. And it's all coming back to bite. Like, every little thing. Oh my god, they just conceded. All right, that's a turn 1 win. We're starting to get back on track here. Okay, so a white land, and it was kind of a land box basic. It wasn't like nice, or didn't seem like it was chosen for any reason other than just like auto-generated by Magic Online. I'm not sure if that means anything. You might think that's silly to even talk about, but I do find that legacy players tend to invest in their decks looking nice because they're going to be playing them a lot. And if you run into someone who just has like random mismatched basics, they're either just like a degen who doesn't care about that, or they're just sort of queuing up for fun or trying something new. And I don't know, maybe I'm not even saying anything at all right now. But I do think this is Death and Taxes. And against Death and Taxes, I like Force of Will. Our Court of Cunning's a little dangerous, but I like a Braid and Blazing Volley. Gutshot is good against some of their things and bad against some of their other things. Narset doesn't really matter. Force Negation's actively bad. And none of these 9 cards over here matter at all. It's just, do I want gut shots? Like Mother of Runes, Thalia, Flicker Wisp are all things you can hit with it. Spirit of the Labyrinth. My opponent didn't reveal Yorion. At least I don't think they did. If they did, I wasn't paying attention. I'm pretty sure they didn't. But I just want my removal, my threats. I just want to get this game over. Maybe 1 gut shot is better than 1 Murktide Regent. Yeah, maybe that's crazy. I don't know. I'm literally playing off concede to days. That's all I got going for me here. Lightning Bolt's good. 2 threats, a removal spell, and some cantrips. I'm going to keep. I wish I had a second colored source, but we'll have some draw steps before that. Is super punishing. This looks like they're just holding up Plow. In which case, I will play my Dragon's Rage Channeler, because I can dash Ragavan next turn. But if they just have like Plow, untap, Thalia, I'm in trouble. Alright, no Plow. Wait, just Thalia? Okay, maybe you are not Death and Taxes at all. This is something different. I kind of want to draw Force of Will. Brazen Bee. This hand actually looks pretty bad right now, and I'm going to go for a Brainstorm to try to fix it. Put Ponder into the graveyard. I'm looking for a fetch land right now. I found a couple of them. I'm going to put back Wasteland. I don't think that's going to be a big part of this game. And put back Blazing Volley. Then I'm going to fetch, Ponder, and if I mill a creature or artifact, I'll have Delirium. Or do I want to Ponder, or do I want a Ragavan? No, I want a Ragavan. I'm just going to attack for 1, and then put my Ragavan into play. This might be green-white depths, now that we see a little more about what they're doing. Ragavan's in play. Now I don't need to worry about investing in dash every turn. I have Lightning Bolt that can clear the way. Oh, Flooded Strand? Are you Bant? Have you been Bant this whole time? And you've tricked me? Crystalline Sliver. Oh my goodness. Okay, I wasn't ready for that. Lightning Bolt just got a lot worse. Though I'm pretty happy to trade Ragavan for a Crystalline Sliver. That card's unbeatable. You might think I'm kidding, but truly, these decks really struggle with Crystalline Sliver. Looking for something I can mill. And Brainstorm's just good enough to keep around. Ponder, yikes. What happens with this? Yeah, I think I keep the Brainstorm. I should have put the Volcanic Island on top of the Brainstorm. That was loose. I'm gonna shuffle my library. Force of Will showing up a little late here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I can get a Murktide Regent into play this turn if I attack with Ragavan. Or I'm going to attack with both because I think they're going to block Ragavan. Or no blocks at all. That's even better. I'll take that. Put that right in my veins. Do I want Nether Vial? I could play Vial, which does what? Do I even care? I don't think I want that, actually. I can cast Murktide Regent. Just hard cast it. Yeah, that sounds good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For 1 split second, the Dragon's Rage Channeler had Delirium. The second where the token went to the graveyard before it was gone. I get that Vial out of here. I'm feeling good about this Force of Will. My position is nice right now. I don't care about Wasteland. Mana Weft Sliver. Sliver. Slivers can tap for any color. Okay. Am I about to get comboed out? Predatory Sliver. Don't think I care about that one either. Alright, sure. That one matters. I'm gonna counter that one as best I can. Put the land in the graveyard. Put the instant in the graveyard. I have another instant. Ragavan gets a trade with whatever it blocks it. Oh, that's fucked. Okay. Artifact. Let's mill a creature or sorcery. That in the graveyard. Gonna bobble them. Let's get a peek. They're drawing Flooded Strand. I'm gonna Lightning Bolt their face because I can't target their creatures. Looking for a different card type here. Damn. Alright, we're not gonna get there on that. If I attack with everything... Yeah, if they block Dragon's Rage Channeler with Predatory Sliver and Ragavan with Mana Weft Swiver. I keep doing that. Sliver. Yeah, I think I have to leave back Dragon's Rage Channeler for this turn. Okay. They're still committed to having maximum material on the board, which I think makes a lot of sense. I'm just gonna... Our Wasteland doesn't really matter because they have the Mana Weft Sliver. Alright, well, I did it anyway. You're at 3. Another Murktide. I imagine there are ways I could still lose this game. They are probably pretty thin. Like, I think Murktide Regent is the important permanent here. Also, Dragon's Rage Channeler being 1 point short of Delirium on the 2 turns that I could have attacked with it was harsh because they're at 3 right now. Grist the Hunger Tide. Okay, that can kill the Murktide. That's pretty good. They have to sack a creature to do it, though. Probably, yeah, the Mana Weft Sliver is gone. So is Murktide, but that is Delirium. That's card number 3, or card number 4. They need to come up with some flying right now with 1 card left in their hand. And they're unable to do it. We got there. Okay. On the board, it just had to be Bant Slivers is where we found our win. Count it, though. On to the next round. I'm on the play in the final round with a Ragavan backed by Disruption hand. I'm going to keep it. It's not quite as clean as Daze, but I'll take Force of Will. My opponent's name is Jimmy Davis, but I don't think it's the Jim Davis. If it's the Jim Davis, he plays a lot of goblins, but I'm pretty sure that's not his name on Moto. Time to fetch my Volcanic Island and get Ragan. Wow, aggressive. Sure, what the fuck ever. Go ahead, take him. That was wild. This is not Jim Davis. Not the real Jim Davis. He would not make that play. Okay. That's why you split your fetch lands, kids. This mana base is mono blue. Oh, it does have 4 Scalding Tarns in it. Alright, that's another misbuild. This mana base is mono blue, and there's no Pithing Needle in the 75, so I should just be playing as many different fetch lands, like 1 of each blue and red fetch land, basically. Okay, some sort of Surgical Extraction, Lotus Petal deck. What is going on over there? Could definitely lose here. They've seen Force of Will and are continuing to just shove spells onto the stack. Ensnaring Bridge. I mean, I guess that one would be hard to beat, wouldn't it? I'm gonna pitch Murktide Regent. Weird. I'm gonna attack with Rag first. Then make decisions based off that information. A DRC. Yeah, let's put that into play. And then I'm gonna ponder also. I am not going to put this in my graveyard because I do actually want it. So, Mishra's Bauble on the bottom. Volcanic Island above it, Wasteland in the middle. Do not shuffle my library. And I can ponder again, or I could play another. I kind of want to counterspell here. I feel like I'm on the edge of something good or bad happening. Okay, Daze is the type of thing I'm looking for. Don't shuffle the library because I can play the bauble right away. I do want to keep the Daze on top though. Maybe I should have put the ponder in the middle. I don't know. This is just free information. Eidolon of the Great Revel in your Lotus Petal Dark Ritual deck. What is going on over there? Well, Daze isn't going to stop this Eidolon from coming into play. You got me. I'm just going to attack. They'll probably block Ragavan, but I'm happy to trade off with Eidolon so I can start casting spells again. Okay. They think Eidolon is better than everything I'm doing right now. Is this just a Life Lost theme deck? Eidolon of the Great Revel, Dark Confidant, main deck Surgical Extraction, Complementing Ensnaring Bridge. I don't know what the hell's going on over there. But the good news is I can take a lot of damage before I'm worried about it. If I can ponder and brainstorm my way into Force of Will right now, I'm going to feel totally good about this game. I already have the Daze, but let's look at millions more cards. Okay. Found what I'm looking for. Now I'm satisfied. Murktide Regent underneath, Ragavan second from the top, Force on top, draw the Force. Now if I cast Force, I can mill the Ragavan, which I don't need. Okay. This is crazy. Is this what's going on in the 1-3 bracket of Magic Online leagues? Okay. I don't even need to counter that. Go ahead, you can have it. Could have dazed it. Could have forced it. Don't care. I'm just going to attack with the 2 Dragon's Rage Channelers. I'm not going to attack with Ragavan. I don't want to give them the chance to block. And now they're at 2 and dead under their own Eidolon. They just can't cast another spell. And they're dead to my Flyers next turn. Sure. Wild. Crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Alright, they conceded. I'm at a loss. Seems like a Braid will be fine. That kills Eidolon or Ensnaring Bridge. Brazen Borrower could catch random bullshit. Hydroblast. We did see some red stuff. Do I want Force of Negation? I just can't tell. Don't know. Definitely don't want Gut Shot. Lightning Bolt seems fine. I don't think I need Unholy Heat. The baubles they're really good at turning on Dragon Rage Channeler, but overall, they might just hurt me under Eidolon. It's really hard to tell what's going on right now. They have the Brewer's advantage, that's for sure. Pyroblast is not going to help me. I don't think I want Blazing Volley. We saw Dark Confidant, but whatever. Do I want Force of Negation? I think I might just have to settle in and be a control deck against this opponent. And maybe I want Court of Cunning over one of these Murky Reeds. And I think that not getting cheesed out should be a priority for me. So yeah, I do want the Force of Negation in the deck as well. And I can cut Expressive Iteration or another Murktide Regent. I think it's Murktide. I feel like if I just draw cards against this deck, I will eventually beat it. And Murktide Regent, even though it's a very cool different type of body, it is just a body. And I have 10 of those already in my 1-drop slot. Can't keep this one. Doesn't even have a Force. Opponent also mulligan to 6. Okay, this one's a keep all day. I'm going to bottom one of the rags. Nice. Alright, deal. I got Force, multiple attackers. What? Whenever an opponent draws a card, if you control a red permanent, you may deal 1 damage to that player. Okay. You got it. Alright. I think I want to put the Delver into play first. Dash the Ragavan when it's convenient. This Cataract Parasite might destroy me with Court of Cunning, though. Holy shit. I haven't seen this card since Shards of Alara Limited, and it wasn't good there either. I'm not going to block if they attack. Okay, smart. Not attacking. Reveal Brainstorm. Don't mind if I do. In Cataract, Parasite does punish Brainstorm pretty hard. Assuming you can have a red permanent ever. I think I just want to play Ragavan. I'll just put it into play. Like, my hand is already set up with cards that I want, so I could have Brainstorm, Fetch, Ragavan, but like, I just want all these cards already. I'm not going to fight over Ensnaring Bridge this game. They have 3 cards in their hand for 1. And I can just deck them with Court of Cunning. I think this is the rare end-step Brainstorm, because hitting my 3rd land here would be pretty clutch. Being able to jam the court and just hang out. Naturally, that did not happen. Okay. Put back Brainstorm, Court. Now Court is my... Oh, wait. If they don't block Ragavan, I can cast the Court anyway. And if they do block Ragavan, they lose their horror. I mean, this is probably... Wow, they didn't block? They're clearly setting up some sort of combo that they think is going to work. There it is. Winds of Change. Each player shuffles the cards from their hand into their library and draws that many cards. Okay, I see what they're up to now. I kind of want to cast that. Do I want to cast that? No, I think their hand's probably bad. But, like, my Force of Will is pretty nice. Yeah, they're not getting to wins me here. Awkwardly, I could cast Court right now, draw a card, though the Parasite could get in there. Yeah, I think I need to wait on that. I am going to bobble them now. I know what I need to play against. Badlands on top. And I'll sneak a Ponder in here. I don't believe I've made a land drop yet this turn. There's my land. Okay, this is fine. I'm not going to win. I'm going to Brazen Borrow the Ensnaring Bridge, or maybe I just let them get Hellbent. Maybe I don't do that. Maybe my plan is to kill them with Cunning Court. Alright, that turns on the Parasite. Is that important to me? They've already made their land for the turn. I'm going to Petty Theft the Ensnaring Bridge in response to that. So there's that. What is the plan with this Eidolon? I don't understand. Okay, so bolting that. Okay, so first Eidolon, then Lightning Bolt. Got it. Their hand is Ensnaring Bridge and 1 mystery card. I'm going to force this Lightning Bolt. Maybe that's crazy. Maybe I'm just like YOLO whatever at this point. But I think I'm going to kill them with my beatdowns pretty quickly. Oh, the Parasite is on. I have a backup Ragavan, so being able to attack with Ragavan, if it gets a trade, then I just play the other one with Court of Cunning. And if it doesn't, then I just hit them with Ragavan again and they're at 5. Oh, they had a Brazen Borrower too. That's cool. Oh wait, no, that's my Brazen Borrower. They're a Ragavan. They also have Ragavan. I see. I could play their Ragavan to untap mine. Or I could just leave Brazen Borrower in exile. Oh, the Court of Cunning looks like so much fun. Oh, they are playing... Okay, yeah, they are going to cast their Bridge next turn. So here's my Court. I'll take 2. I become the Monarch. And then I'm going to cast their Ragavan also. Just having a blocker here is pretty dope. Keep this one, the other one dies. Oh my god, they might combo kill me right now. I can't wait. Okay. They should have attacked before they cast their Ensnaring Bridge. Now they can attack. They had a chance to take the Monarch and then turn around and play Ensnaring Bridge. But I guess if you're the Monarch, Ensnaring Bridge is kind of bad. Whatever. Just gonna mill them out now. Yep. Put 10 cards in your graveyard. Underworld Dreams. Wow, this is just a commander deck. Reforge the Soul. Okay. Expressive Iteration technically doesn't draw cards. Oh, I should probably stop casting spells into this Eidolon, though. No, I shouldn't. Okay. Put a Braid in my hand. Delver on the bottom. Exile this. Play my Misty. A Braid can kill Ensnaring Bridge. That's gone. And then I just attack them with Delver and they're dead. I'll get in with Ragavan as well for good measure. Fearlessly drawing cards into the Cataract Parasite. Cataract Parasite sighting in Legacy, by the way. I was able to salvage a 2-3, half my money back with the best deck in the format. Let's look at this thing. Like I've said a couple times already, we played against 2 Urza Saga decks, and Urza Saga decks are... they make giant creatures, and they make them without casting spells. Wasteland is a good tool in that matchup, but you're not very good at catching up once they have a couple of 4/4s. This 1-of Blazing Volley should just be a 1-of Meltdown. Just don't leave home without Meltdown. That's going to be really important for the matchups where it matters. And it has some peripheral value against things like Death and Taxes, where you could wipe out Aether Vials and Umazau's Jetés and stuff. So this deck needs a Meltdown. That would have changed a lot. We made a lot of little decisions wrong. We made a lot of little decisions right. I hope the record of the league doesn't detract from the lessons learned in sequencing and what's important and all of that. And I just want to stress again, if you are of the opinion that this deck plays itself, or Wizards of the Coast built your deck for you, you're a net decker, this deck is a joke, whatever, like, you're wrong, because you have to play this deck extremely well. Though if you do, all of the tools are there to be completely insane. And that's my big takeaway from this league. The important thing is that I am not ready to play this deck in a tournament that matters. And if you want to just like jump into the Legacy PTQs, if you have a loan account and you don't really play Legacy, make sure you get your reps, because you are not going to be able to pilot this deck optimally. And if you're not really paying attention, you won't even know why. You'll just think like, oh, this deck sucks, or I got unlucky, but that's probably not true. There's very little luck in a deck like this, and you make so many tiny decisions, and they all matter. And that's my big takeaway from this. Sam, thank you for asking me to play this deck. It was fun to wade into the S tier and be the bad guy for a little bit. It's nice to play Delver once in a while to make sure you still understand True North in the format. Like when you're building to attack Delver, you have to make sure you understand the Delver perspective in order to attack it, because Delver might be doing something different now to adjust to the people who are attacking it. And just really understanding the winner's metagame involves playing all of the decks in that winner's metagame. So thank you, Sam, for this opportunity. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope you had fun. I hope it was instructional. This was on the try harder side of decks and leagues that I play, and I hope that the strategic analysis, despite the win record, is valuable to everyone. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, leave some comments. Let me know what you think about Lightning Bolt in that Urza Echo matchup. Like, I'm interested in that. But anyway, comment any of thoughts, nitpick my plays, because Delver's all about nitpicking. Nitpick the build. I just pulled it off the internet, basically. Tell me why it's good or bad. Are people playing Meltdown still? Because I feel like they should be. And those are my thoughts. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.